Okay, so these problems look like this. Number one, let's do the f of x equals 3/2 the sine of x minus 2. We're not going to graph them. Today we're just going to graph the parent functions, because then we can take that parent function and do this stuff to it, so we don't need to actually graph them. But we're going to answer 5 questions. Okay, A is going to be the amplitude. Now in this first example, write out amplitude A. Okay, on the other examples, you just have to put A, and we know that we're talking about the amplitude, that we don't have to keep writing the words over and over. Okay, B, the period. And then C, it's called phase shift. I think that verbiage is different than what you're used to, but you already know how to do it. Okay, it just means left or right. Yeah. Okay, phase shift just means left-right movement. Okay, and then D is your vertical shift. What does vertical mean, guys? Up, down. Okay, up, down. So that's your up-down movement. And then a new one for you guys will be midline equation, which looks like a difficult question, but it's super easy. Probably the easiest one out of all. Okay. So let's first, before we begin, let's break down the transformations, always first. So what does the -2 do to this function? Down 2. Okay. Now this next question is hard. Okay, like if I wanted to trick you on a test, I would put this kind of question. The A is misleading. What do you guys think about it? What do you think the A is doing on this one? So here's why I say misleading. We know it's vertical for sure, okay? But usually when you see a fraction right away, you always think it's compressed, because it usually is. But this fraction is misleading because what's 3 divided by 2? 1.5, so it's actually bigger than 1. So it's kind of like a try to get you, okay? It's actually a vertical stretch. 90% of the time, they're compressed. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, amplitude. All you do is the absolute value of the A, okay? The A is the 3/2. What is the absolute value of 3/2? 1.5. Okay. So when I give you the mini quiz on Canvas on Monday, okay, you know you can't type in fractions, so you'll have to convert them like that to decimals. Okay, so just divide the numbers. Okay, period. So this is the new one. We do 2 pi divided by b. What is b? Well, so we know this is a, b is right here, right? And there's nothing there. So usually you're stuck between it's 0 or 1, right? But if it was 0, what would 0 times everything be?
0.
So it'd make everything disappear. So it's not 0, it has to be a 1. Okay, so it's a 1. And then 2 pi, anything divided by 1 is just the same thing. So there's our amplitude and period. See how easy it is? Okay. Easier than if I were to graph it and stuff. Okay, phase shift, did we move left or right? Let's look at it again.
No.
No, right? We didn't move left or right. So none. There is no phase shift. Did we move up or down? Yes. Down how many? -2. Okay, now let me explain the midline equation for you. Let me go back to the graph. Okay, guys, so the midline, just like common sense would tell you, right? That's the middle, right? So for the parent function, this is the parent function, the midline is at y equals 0. That's right here, okay? So ours, we shifted it, what, down 3 or up 3? I forgot. Down, okay. So we took this, the sine one, and we went, so the middle is not at 0, it's at, yeah, so that's all there's to it. Okay. But we have to write it as y equals. So we write y equals. Okay, so here's the last piece of new information. Not the phase shift. What happened to my answers? Oh, midline equation. I think I dragged C. Yeah, there it goes. Okay, midline equation is y equals -2. So last piece of new information, the midline equation will always be y equals, who's -2? H, K, A, B, K. Because that's if you move it up, it's up. If you move it down, it's down. Okay. All right. Questions so far, guys? Okay, so I'm going to give you an example, okay? And I'm going to give you 2 minutes. And then just see how much of that you can fill in by yourself. Based on other classes, the first example is like 50%, get it right. Then by the third one, it's like 90%. So just stay with me and you'll be good. Let's do 5 cosine 2x minus pi plus 4. Okay, so remember, just one thing before I start. On the other ones, before we would say it moved right 3, left 2, numbers like that. We're not counting by 2 and 3 and 1. This time we're counting by pi over 2. So that's why it looks like this. So this would be a right pi, which is weird, but that's how you say it. Okay, it went right pi. Okay, so A, B, C. You already know what those letters stand for, so you don't have to rewrite them. But A, B, C, D, E. Write the transformations, and then what each one of these is. Okay, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes. It probably won't make a lot of sense at first, but it's easy. Okay, so just watching this. This is your best. Two pi over b. Okay, guys, let's see, okay? So let's do the transformation. So the plus 4 is a, what does it do? Up 4, right? Up 4. Kind of jump from like the easier to hard. 5 is, it's an A, but what vertical stretch? Now, I want to talk about B, okay? I want to talk, instead of just telling you. I don't have a good memory. Honestly, the first example I did today, I don't remember what that does. I don't memorize them because my memory is horrible. So I do know, though, that numbers bigger than 1 always do this to the circle. Always. Okay? So I know it has to be horizontal because that one's vertical. So if I grab the circle from the horizontal edges, okay, I'm grabbing it from here. I can't move my hands, but what would I do to my fingers to make it look like that? Would I push it? Right? Push. So it's a horizontal compress. Okay, and that's what I have to do in my head to remember. But if you have a good memory, you can memorize them. Bigger than 1, horizontal compress, fractions, horizontal stretch. Okay. Okay. So anyways, now amplitude 5. Right, it's already positive, so it just stays positive. Okay. Period 2 pi divided by 2. They cancel. Pi. The period is pi. Okay. So what that means, I don't know if you make this connection, but what that means, the original part of this graph only happens in half of the, right? Instead of being the whole 2 pi, it happens in the half. Okay, and then C, what's C? The left, right, right? So you just say right pi. Right, Fisher. And then D is the up, down. So up 4. And then E is Y equals the midline equation. 4. Okay, I need you to be honest, that way I can gauge the class. Okay, how many of you got, not the transformations, because I know some of you might have missed that, but the 5 letters? How are we doing? Oh, that's better then. We're actually like at 70, 80% already. So good. Okay, let's try another one. I almost know this is our weakness. How many of you had HC? But honestly. Yeah, see, we go from like 80% to like 2 hands. So, but we'll get good at it, okay? We just haven't practiced B. Okay, so B is kind of a new one for us. Okay, 3. Let's do f of x negative 1/2 sine. Let's do, what was that? 1/4. Okay, before I finish this problem, because I know if I finish it, you guys will go like knock it out real quick. But I want to talk about the period of this one, okay? So before I'm not going to finish it. Let's talk about the period. I have to help you first with the period. It's 2 pi over b, right? Mm-hmm. What's b on this one? 1. Okay, here's the problem, okay? Students are using, I saw last period, they just went on the calculator and typed in 2 pi and divided it by 1/4. The answers won't look like that. We want the exact answers. It's really easy to do, so I just got to show you, okay? We haven't done the hamburger in a long time, but here's the hamburger again. This is a whole number. This is a fraction. Fractions like fractions. So we want both of them to be fractions, okay? Now, if you're new to me, you've never seen this probably. But how do you make any number into a fraction? Okay, so we're going to do 2 pi over 1 over 1/4. Okay, I have a fraction over a fraction. So fractions like fractions. Okay, and then the reason we call this the hamburger is because we do the top times the bottom, the buns, okay, of the hamburger, and you multiply them, and they go to the top. And then you do the middle, okay, the meat and the cheese or whatever, right? And that goes to the bottom. That's how you divide fractions. I didn't learn that until I was taking calculus in college. Mr. Poole showed me how to do that. I was like, oh, that's so easy. Okay. And 8 pi divided by 1 is just 8 pi. Okay. So that's how you have to do it. You don't divide it on your calculator. Okay. So, anyways, let's finish this out. Let's do pi over 3 plus 3. Okay, we'll do answer A, B, C, D. Okay, I'll do a minute and a half because I already did this one. For those of you that walked in a little late, A is called the amplitude. B is the period. C is the phase shift. Bless you. Vertical shift. And mid. If you're confused about any part when I'm walking around, ask me, okay? So Monday, guys, this is, I mean, if you're already getting this will be your mini quiz on Monday, so it's like 100 already, okay? But we'll do like a homework first and then finish with the mini quiz, okay? But it's easy, right? Okay, amplitude, okay? Amplitude for this one is what? Oh, let's do, I'm sorry, yeah, you're right. Let's do the whole movements first, the transformation. So the 3 does, up, right, 1/4, horizontal stretch, vertical compress. What about the negative?
Reflect.
Of x-axis. See, if you learn, once you learn them, they're the same all year. Okay. Okay, amplitude is what? So you go. So it is negative 1/2, but then it turns it positive, so it's 0.5. Okay, so just be careful with that. That will get you. So those of you who walked in, the amplitude is just the positive of the A value. Okay, that's all it is. And then the phase shift, we already answered that. Right, pi over 3. Vertical shift, we said up 3. And then those of you that walked in, the midline is simply y equals what, guys?
K.
The k. So 3. This is y equals k. Okay. Okay, be honest. Okay, be honest. Of the 5 letters, how many of you got all 5 letters? Excellent, excellent. Yeah, let's see. You guys almost to 90%. What about all the reflections? Correct. Oh, we loosen hands, and I bet you is this one still. So we'll get better at that one.
I have a question.
Yes,
though.
ma'am.
Okay, the 8 pi, how did you get that?
How about let's practice that?
Okay.
Yeah, because we need to get good at that. Okay. Will you just drop it there? I'll go get it in a second. Thank you. This is kind of a side little mini lesson. Okay, let's say you were doing the period and you were dividing 2 pi by 1/3. Practice the hamburger on that real quick, just to see if you get it done. Remember, because you can't use the calculator on that one. So you have to use the hamburger. It doesn't say, oh no, does he right? Or no? No? It's Jaden? Oh, Jaden. Solis. Okay, here we go, guys. Okay, so once you do it a couple of times, you'll get it. So there's the hamburger, right? So buns, meat and cheese, Anything divided by 1 is the same thing, so it's just 6 pi. How many of you got 6 pi? How to do this? Okay, good. So that's how you do to it, okay? Okay, example 3. Let's make one up together. Somebody say a value. 3. Let's make it negative. Sine, give me a fraction b value. Anybody? 2/3. I'm gonna make it more interesting.
I wasn't able to write the mini example.
Okay, I'll go down in a second. And then give me a radian measure.
+5.
So we have to use radians though, radians,
5
right?
pi over 6.
Okay, 5 pi over 6. It's really weird for us to use radians because we don't. And you know what's crazy? There's other measurements too. I don't think we get to them in this class, but there's other measurements besides radians. And then a k value? 2. All right, there it is. Okay. A, B, C, D. Two minutes. I think the period's going to be interesting. I forgot to start my timer, guys, but I see you guys writing, so I'll wait. As you're finishing up, though, just so you can kind of see a preview, okay, Monday, we do the homework for this, close with a little mini quiz. Tuesday, we move on to tangent, graphing the tangent function, and then we practice the tangent function. And then we have a couple more lessons, and then we'll have another test, because this unit got broken up into 3 parts, because it was so big. So the part 2 will just be the graphing part, which will be this kind of stuff, okay? Okay, here we go. Let's do the transformations. So, +2 up to, this is a what? Right, all that stuff, right? Yeah. And then the 3, vertical stretch, the negative, no, just the negative, like X, and then a horizontal stretch, because it is less than 1, okay? Yes, okay. Amplitude is 3, okay, because it converts that negative into a positive. And then I'm going to do the period, because I think maybe you had trouble. I don't know. 2/3. Okay, so 2 pi over 1 over 2 over 3. Hamburger, 6 pi over 2. The difference here is you can divide, right? 6 and 2, so 3 pi. Okay, it's a hamburger, works every single time. Okay. And then we already answered C and D, because this is right, what is it, 5 pi 6? And this was up to, and y equals 2. How many of you got all 5 letters? That's it, that's all there's to it, okay? If you're having trouble, stay a little bit maybe after class and I'll help you out. If you walked in late, this video will be up in a couple of hours. Okay, but we're gonna stop here. Go ahead and put up